What's up, everyone? It's Ross from Full Throttle Japan. How are you doing today? I wanted to take a chance just to go over something that happened to me specifically with my BMW M5, the F90 generation, 2019. Had quite some trouble occur a few weeks back that I wanted to share with you, and maybe it's going to be something for you to look out for with your F90 M5 in the future. Come over here. The car's parked over here. We'll take a look. So I purchased this car in November of last year, 2024. We're now in January 2025. I've only put on about maybe 1,000 kilometers. When I got this car, it had 23,000 kilometers on it, and in very good condition. One owner, dealer car, barely driven, really nice. There's so many things I love about this car. I'm going to do a separate review at another point in time. But I really wanted to address this issue, and that is specifically the issue of the broken coolant expansion tank. Let's take a look at that. So we'll open it up. Come take a look. BMW trunks 2 times with the lever there. This trunk is so light, actually. Okay, so what we're dealing with here is the coolant expansion tank, which is right here. So this side one. And what happened is that this container started to leak, perhaps from a crack in the seam somewhere, and it ended up spewing coolant antifreeze around the surrounding area and beneath it. And beneath it you have very sensitive areas, fuel injectors, engine coil perhaps. I'm not a mechanic, but very, very delicate areas that you absolutely do not want to be covered in corrosive antifreeze coolant. So what happened is I woke up one morning, started the car in January, all of a sudden a warning display message pops up in the computer telling me to immediately turn off the car and seek a mechanic because the engine was dangerously low on coolant, so not the most welcoming of messages to start the year. So I popped the hood, checked the coolant level, and it is far below the minimum level in the tank. So big cause for concern. What I had to do there is drive down to the local BMW dealership, pick up some BMW approved coolant, and go back, fill it up, made an appointment, drove down there and had them look at it. The issue is, of course, that, at least in my opinion, having a coolant leak in the engine bay can certainly cause a lot of damage beneath. Perhaps the worst result being an engine failure if coolant or whatever gets into the cylinder, something like that. All these type of things that, for me, are just totally unacceptable and scary, considering that it's a relatively new car of just 6 years old and, again, really low mileage, 23,000 kilometers. The thing to remember in my case is that I purchased this car with a third-party 1-year warranty. So that was somewhat reassuring. I contacted them right away when this trouble started. They did some funny things. They tried to get me to take it to an independent dealer. Perhaps they were hoping to save some money. Of course, I rejected that and just wanted to get it done at the very expensive BMW dealer here in town. And they also tried to get into some details about how the warranty only covers specific parts. So they put up a small fight, but we were able to negotiate. And in the end, they ended up paying for quite the little bit of service that I'm really happy was done for free. So specifically what they did is they changed the coolant expansion tank. They replaced it with a new one. And underneath that, they fixed some things that were damaged, including 4 fuel injectors from cylinders 5 through 8. So we can go ahead and take a look at that invoice. One moment. Okay, in my opinion, the BMW invoice is hilarious, at least in the Japanese version. In the first page of this folder, you're greeted with a nice soothing message of just relax, because your bill is waiting inside, so please relax. I find that hilarious to be told to relax before receiving some expensive news. So of course this is all in Japanese, but the main point to remember is that they changed the tank, did a pressure test, and parts and labor with 4 fuel injectors all the way down to the main bill of a wonderful 386,000 yen. So we can consider that roughly $2,400 US. Of course, that's through the dealer, and of course, your costs may differ if you are in another country. I don't know what your BMW dealership is like, but I'd like to say that they're pretty expensive everywhere you go. So what has your experience been like? Have you also had this same problem with your F90 M5? For me, I would understand this happening if I had much higher mileage, if the car had been driven very enthusiastically a lot, perhaps on the track. In my case, I think it's coming from one single owner with very low miles. I find it very surprising, and I do find it a little bit scary. For me, this could be something that could have been perhaps catastrophic, driving with no coolant or having it explode corrosive material all over the engine bay. That's not for me, but please let me know what you've had and your experiences with this car. For me, I'm really happy I have that one-year warranty. All right, guys, talk to you later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.